GangRadio.com. Take over. Last mission. Final boss mode.
Yeah, what's good, yo? Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, where as always, in Shitsville, we talk about it. I'm your host for tonight, Pat Scorpio, the New England representative, and as always, I got my man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Yo, what it do's, LB, Lauderdale Boss, aka Shuttleworth, the God, the GOAT artist, Soul Wars creator, RingGangRadio.com, in the building.
Yes, sir. Ring Gang in the house. Ring Gang in the house forever and always. And as always, I got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Yow, you already know who it is. Your boy King P, Bodega Box in the building. Ring Gang Radio, what up?
Hollywood with these entrances now. Like, hold on.
I'm saying, like, I'm over here dying. I'm trying not to laugh too hard. I got that nigga came out there. I was like, wow. Nigga was watching that Ghostface shit last night.
Busta Rhymes.
Yo, King P straight from this fucking sewer, except he's above ground today, nigga.
Yeah, straight off the Hype Williams video shoot.
Yo, P, tell the people, yo, what you been up to, man, on your day off from the sewer, bruh?
I mean, it's the same shit, man. I'm still protecting the city, even when I'm not in the sewer. But you know, the usual. I can't tell y'all what I've been doing because it's a secret, but you'll find out eventually.
Of course, man. It's always, you know, you keep the city and the streets safe from, you know, the niggas in ninja pajamas and niggas that got brains in their stomachs and, you know, niggas that got like foil over their heads and shit, nigga. And as always, man, we salute you for your service, man. It's very underrated and understated too. But last and certainly not least, man, I got my last man to, you know, speak on stuff. So I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Yo, what's good? It's your boy Pilot, Conscious Pilot here, representing Ring Gang Radio. Ready for it.
Yeah, you know, because they call that man Conscious Pilot because he elevates above all other niggas, man. Can you dig it?
Fuck that. No. We do over. Somebody got to make a plain sound effect or some shit.
Yeah, we need something. That was whack. I try. We'll get the ad-lib going.
I don't know what that was. That sounded like a boat, helicopter. That's some new shit.
That's new shit. That's original though. I can dig it though.
That was a deleted scene from the A-Team movie.
Here we go. That's the Marlon Wayans one, right?
Yo, you guys are fools, yo. But yeah, don't worry, Pilot though. Yeah, we'll get you though. Like I said, yo, you'll have your own unique intro in no time, and that's a good start though. I might laugh about that shit later though, but you know that's a good start. So yeah, man, we got some stuff to talk about tonight. We're gonna go right into the recap, you know, from the excellent fight from last night from Golden Boy, where Maurice Hooker, you know, and Vergil Ortiz slugged it out in the main event.
Oh, hold on. So this is like part one of the Ring Gang cut, right? Like we're naming this part one Hooker Ortiz.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Oh man, though. But yeah, though that fight, you know, and first things too, because originally that whole card, and again, we thought it would be one of them struggle cards that would go by too quick. You know, like it would be like Triple G and Canelo 2 all over again. You know, with undercard, all of that shit ended mad early for no reason. You know, and we're like, damn, Oscar is down bad. Now he needs to get some shit together. But yeah, no, it turned out to be a really good card, you know, and we'll get into some of those fights in a little bit. But the main event was interesting as fuck. You know, first of all, the action delivered in the ring, and even like and also it was good to see. It's wonderful to see energy from the fans, you know, before the fight. Although it was kind of disrespectful, the niggas was really, you know, chanting Ortiz or Hooker's name when they were trying to give a 10 count to Marvin Hagler. I was like, yo, these cats must be drunk or something. Like,
yeah, I think people were just so excited to be out, but damn, like, yo, give Hagler his respect. Like, let him get that 10 count. Like,
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, you know,
if he gonna say something, it better be Hagler related. Don't, you know.
Yeah, I was like, these cats already have, and of course, I was told by many people on Twitter that Texas didn't have the no mask mandate, and I just realized, wait a minute, I just rapped about that shit in my prediction video. Of course, that's the reason why. Like, the only niggas is probably super lit in there, so that was so that's part of the reason why. So
it's
yeah,
like South Beach down here.
I seen those videos.
Curfew. Ooh.
Yeah, they're big wilding down there in Florida. Like, but what else is new with Florida?
Just don't bring that shit 30 minutes up here,
Word.
Leave that shit in Dade. Like, don't bring it to Broward.
Yeah.
we got shit to do at night. Like, we don't need a curfew.
Absolutely, no one needs a curfew, but human people can't behave themselves. That's what happens. But yeah, it's just good to see that energy. Two Fires and Ortiz got like a big ovation, and then Hooker.
This Broner was supposed to be like.
Yeah, but I don't think Hooker's from Texas too, but they was booing the shit out of that man, like,
yeah.
Boo! And
I'm guessing that was from the Mexicans.
Yeah. I mean, we can be real. I mean, it's from the Mexicans, because Mexicans, they are really into their boxing and their boxers. Like, I mean, we're not afraid to say it. It's the truth.
Yeah.
But damn, Hooker is from Texas, He repped y'all. You know what I'm saying? He was a world champion, y'all.
I could see if the Bulls were like 64. I mean, the crowd was like 60-40, maybe even 70-30. But that bitch was like 90-10 or some shit.
Like honestly, I'm surprised I
from your place.
Like I'm actually surprised I didn't hear like an N-word on camera, because I'm thinking like they was that kind of lit. I was going to hear some shit. But it's like, I mean, between him and then every time they put the camera on Crawford, boo! Spence though.
I mean, that was for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Crawford is not liked in damn Texas, man. You better fight one of these Texas dudes like Spence or Ortiz.
Yeah, exactly. I think he needs to get his respect in that state, because they were showing him none. Yeah, so you can tell like the crowd was already super hyped, and then you see Hooker and Ortiz, like they already just pacing around the ring and shit like that. And I was like, okay, this is about to be a fight. And we're looking for good welterweight fights, since the top level welterweights are kind of bullshitting. So they're bullshitting a lot. So when that bell rang, them boys were throwing, man. So like, LB, man, what were your thoughts on that fight?
That's a damn good fight, man. Like, the energy carried over from the previous fight, and both dudes came out there like aggressive as hell. Hooker was putting that jab and that reach to work.
He was
keeping Ortiz at bay. Ortiz was plotting and coming after him, but he was moving his head.
Mm-hmm.
He was stopping him with that jab. Like, it was like boxer versus a pressure fighter. Like, it was a good contrast, and they both were capable on the inside, so you get some real good exchange. But it just seemed like Ortiz was the physically stronger guy, and he took the better punch. Although I felt like Hooker buzzed him a couple times. Like, he definitely passed the little chin test. Like, like don't get me wrong. Like, Ortiz, he's fought some guys with decent power, and Orozco is heavy-handed.
He is.
But he never fought someone yet that had like real type of like punching power, like real pop, like in a boxing way. Like look, like a dude's right hand, left hook could get you. It's not no swarming, clubbing, heavy-handed shit. Like, nah.
Yeah.
Hooker has legit power.
Yeah, especially if he really extends, because like I said, as we were mentioning before, Hooker enjoyed a 10-inch reach advantage. So it's like, you don't want to eat too many of right hands that he fully extends.
Right.
Because I mean, those right hands will stop anybody, no matter what type of chin that you have in their tracks. Eventually, So
he was letting them go, but it's that determination, man. Like Ortiz was just on him.
Yeah, like Ortiz, like I mean, he could not be dissuaded or nothing. Like I mean, Ortiz was throwing combinations like ASAP, bro. Like Like
that's what you want to see. I'm tired of everybody going ham in the training videos, throwing 14 punch combinations on the mitts and the pads and all that shit. When a fight come, everybody's like, nah, okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my god. Like let the fucking hands go. Like,
1, 2, 1, 2,
like,
or 1, 2, 1, or
1, 2,
shit
1.
like that. Okay, so
like come on, like and you know, you get a better fight that way. You got like, honestly, no, like, I don't know, for some reason, no one's calling it a fight of the year, but it was a damn good fight.
There was a hella ebb and flows.
Yeah, it's like for some reason, no one's like, it's like it didn't have that fight of the year vibe, but for some reason, we've given fights lesser than that, like that fight of the year.
Well, because of usually the peaks. It's the peak. Like there was, this was a nice back and forth ebb and flow, but I don't think there was no brah until the end. So that's what.
You got some brah rah at the end of some of them rounds, though.
yeah, he did though. But I think it's because Ortiz was going for like Ortiz wasn't as hurt as Hooker. Like when Hooker got hurt, like he was hurt. You know, whereas Ortiz would get buzzed a little bit and then, and come back. You know, I think like there was ebb and flow, but I don't think it was the type of fight of the year ebb and flow that people were looking for. Although, like I said, it was an extremely outstanding fight.
It's honestly, it's that notch below a fight of the year. Like it's just right up there, but it's not quite.
Yeah, like let's say if Ortiz actually like went down a little bit, or he lost a little bit more rounds, he probably could maybe give it a fight of the year consideration. But I mean,
then we'll be having all these he was exposed.
Yeah, exactly. Because there are niggas that there are cats out there that don't like Oscar, and they're like, you know what? And then Ortiz is the most visible fighter there outside of Ryan Garcia. So they will be. So I know they would say that like, immediately. And also, I want to acknowledge people that are in that chat right now. Shout out to the coup d'etat of boxing. Hello back, and Hooker. He said Hooker really tested Ortiz and gave him a great fight. Props for that. I can't believe such a huge guy was able to make 140. Hooker. Yeah, Hooker is a big dude. Like in person. Like I was there when this nigga was trying to make weight for his last 140 or the fight before he fought Ramirez. Like he had to lose like 5 pounds or some shit like that. It was fucking crazy. And I think he ended up having to, cut some of his hair down a little bit to make it.
Damn.
Hooker. How Hooker made 140 is crazy.
But he still seems like he could fill out more. Like at 147, like I almost feel like he needs to be put on like a strength and conditioning plan. Like not even conditioning, like a strength plan. Like.
It might be.
He does look kind of wiry on the wiry side.
Too wiry, like Tito was wiry, but Tito had like that solid type of, like even Hearns, like they look wiry, but it's a hardness to it. Like the muscles look real. Like Hooker looked like a guy. Like if you see him in a street fight. Mm-hmm. Like you would instantly try to scoop and slam him, like
yeah, exactly. Hooker. I think the reason why not, because most people they drop the type of weight that they drop, to get themselves a little bit of a competitive advantage. Hooker could probably fight. Could definitely fight at 154. He'll fill out there. Probably.
He need to hit the weights. Well, what's the point of him keep going up in weight and he's still damn weak or not? It's not peak durability.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'd say hit the weights, everybody. He has power at this weight that he's at, but yeah, it's just his durability is not where it needs to be, and it could be just because he's probably draining weight. Because everyone knows like draining weight is pretty much it messes you up big time. It can mess up in different ways.
Okay, maybe because I said strength and conditioning, maybe he needs strength and nutritioning. Which one is it? Like how far he gonna keep going up in weight?
I don't know. But I don't know.
147 work.
I mean, I know. I mean, because remember, all the rumblings like, okay, he wanted to fight Vergil at the full 147 mark, so it was just like.
And look at that, damn! The props Prograde could have got them props. Ortiz is getting.
Yeah, exactly.
We could have been talking about a Prograde Crawford potential fight.
I'm saying,
that's what he should have been calling. You focused on fucking Broner, like.
Yeah,
I like Broner, but come on.
We're trying to fight Broner and Tank for.
Yeah,
I mean, they got names, but come on, man.
It's like they on a whole different career trajectory from you, like.
Yeah, and it's not ready to cross yet, so it's unfortunate too. Like, man, Ortiz got the props from taking on a former world champion in his 16th fight or whatever, and then of course, but Ortiz's performance wasn't always perfect. I mean, in the third, especially the fourth round too, like we saw Hooker probably implement that plan that him and Bomac was probably working on. Like, I mean, that was his best round of the fight because I mean he was boxing, he was moving in and out. He was letting that jab go. He was letting the hands go, his right hands go. Like he had Ortiz, and I think he even buzzed Ortiz in that round too. I'm thinking to myself, okay,
I think he threw like a right hand that was like, oh shit.
Yeah. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, we get more of those rounds, and we might really have something.
Yeah, but Ortiz shook it off, and he just kept at it, like Hooker. Hooker's feet needs to be faster. Like he almost seems like a better punching Benavidez.
I was literally just gonna say Benavidez vibes. Quicksand, sharper punching in quicksand.
yeah, exactly. Because look how fast Ortiz was able to shift his feet and pivot and get around them. Like. Mm-hmm. Like, come on, like you shouldn't be having people shouldn't be looking like Pacquiao around you, like. Yeah. And Ortiz has good footwork, but come on, like.
But I mean, Hooker was still giving him issue in that round, and also the fifth round too with the lateral movement. Like Ortiz wasn't cutting off the ring on him that well, I mean.
He was doing that whole that walking down thing we talk about, like.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is with cutting off the ring, like. That's really becoming a lost art.
We just want to follow people across the ring now. Just follow them. Like that does get annoying.
Like to be honest, like when you spar someone in boxing, it's low key more fun. And I can't believe I'm saying this because I know I'm a back foot boxing ass dude, but it's low key more fun to cut off the ring and pressure fight somebody.
Yeah. No, but
you feel me, right? Like the whole you see in their eyes widen when you get nearer and closer, and it's like the Beanie Siegel shit. Like a bully is on the narrowest blocks of ass. What's that line he said?
No, I get what you're saying too, but it's just like I think most people are just like they like to do they'll follow you around because they think, okay, maybe they'll tire you out that way. And I think they're just thinking they'll probably put more dividends in what they're doing.
Around get boring though.
It does too, and
when you cut off the ring, that's when it's like.
They're either forced to make an adjustment or forced to use their brain on the spot.
Following somebody around, I feel like really only works best when you have when you're able to punch at different types of angles, which a lot of fighters don't really have aren't really good at punching in all different angles. It was corner them, but a lot of them just can't corner them. So if you can't corner them and you can't punch in all different angles, then you're just following somebody with no real plan. Just for the sake of following them.
Mm-hmm. Especially if your footwork is embedded in theirs.
Right. But then Ortiz, though, was able to make an adjustment, though, and I think it was round 6. Ortiz immediately start throwing to the body. He was like, you know what? Let me cut all this out and let me just.
Round 5 is when he started kind of opening up. That's when I seen the change. It's funny how all of us had the next round. But it's he completed the process and he went a stage above in each round. We had our predictions and I felt like he started opening up on round 5 on my prediction. Round 6, I felt like he was full steam, charged up, doing the damn thing. Round 7 was the end of it.
Yeah, in round 6, though, he broke down Hooker. Like
He would have stopped him if he had more time in that round.
Yeah, because he dropped him near the end of the round.
Hooker was hurt right there.
Yeah, and then his corner is like, it's like, he took my breath away because Ortiz landed a solar plexus punch. And if you ever got hit in your solar plexus, you don't recover. You don't.
Yeah, not fun. Not fun at all. I can attest to that.
Out of it, like he didn't get like the solar plex from a straight shot right there hurts. Like,
yeah, it absolutely hurts.
But the way he got caught like at the upper quadrant of it.
Yeah.
The part like near your rib.
Yeah.
So it's like your rib gonna hurt and the fucking solar plex hurt. Like that's worse than getting hit in the damn solar plexus straight up.
Yeah, and you can tell because he got out that in the final round of the fight, like his arms were pinned to his sides, like he was, Drew was in, he was trying to buy some time, because I know he was gonna need like at least another round to recover, but Ortiz smelled blood at that point. He was like, yeah, I'm gonna finish this. But the thing though, the ending was kind of anticlimactic in a way.
Yeah, it felt that way. Like it wasn't like no dope knockdown. We were like, oh shit.
Yeah, it was like the exchange, and then Hooker turned away, went to the canvas holding his right arm or something like that. It's saying like he popped an elbow or something. Something broke, his hand or whatever. But like the referee didn't even count it. Like he just pretty much he waved it off immediately. I was like, and that was the only thing I found wrong with it. I was like, damn, the ending was just so. You hate to see injury TKOs. Like you want to see it a little bit more cleaner. But what are you gonna do? Sometimes the referee had to do what he had to do. So he waved it off, and Ortiz won a great slugfest by TKO in round number 7. I was only one off of my prediction too, which I was like, damn it, one more fucking round. But flat out, Ortiz though, a mature. It was a more mature performance though. Like he did get tagged though. It wasn't close. Like I said, you saw his face. Hooker hit him with some shit. Like he had some trademarks all over his face. Like some areas were swollen and everything like that. So, but like I said, he walked right through him. But he won't be able to walk through every shot like that.
And he didn't even. You can't say he just walked right through him. Like he kept coming, but he didn't. Like he did back up. He did pause. You saw the punches affected him, but he didn't let that shit deter his plan. Like this is the thing. Ortiz, we have to remember, guys with pressure styles who offensive, they're gonna get hit more than the guy who's playing Cutie McGee with the back foot shit. So it's like I expect a guy like Ortiz to have a couple, shots on his face, take a few hits. Like honestly, his defense is pretty solid for his style. Like, you're not gonna. No one's fucking prime Roman Gonzalez.
No, of course not.
Or Roberto Duran. Like, give him a break. Shit,
I can't argue with results. Like I said, he took some shots or whatever like that, but it wasn't like he was getting knocked around or.
Didn't y'all want him to answer some questions? Remember, we just had damn Spence answer questions like his last fight that we've been wanting for like the last 5-6 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like how many punches Spence fought?
Not too many.
Not many.
Damn, y'all left me hanging. I'm like, hold on.
Like, not many. Aside from Danny, Danny's the only real puncher he fought.
But he didn't really do anything to Spence.
Exactly.
Yeah. Whereas Porter, who was not, we don't really see as a puncher, was buzzing Spence left and right at times. So.
Yeah, the different delivery system on the punches.
Mm-hmm.
You got Danny's boxing, then you got like the aggressive, swarming werewolf boxing. And then, one of them damn overhand rights gonna get in there.
Absolutely, no, but it was the type of fight that they needed. Like Ortiz, he had the crowd in his hand or whatever. Although, truthfully, too, like I honestly. For some reason, I thought Ortiz spoke Spanish and turns out he didn't. I was like, really? And for some reason, because he comes in with the Spanish music and everything like that, and that was a minor thing on Twitter too. I was like,
they said he was is that pandering? Like, I don't think so. Like,
no, it wasn't a pander. Like, because he said he couldn't speak Spanish and he was learning. But I was like,
he should have not even tried. If I was him, I would just left.
Yeah.
I'd rather he's doing this shit that I be blaming Canelo not doing with English, so I can't say nothing.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, I mean, he's learning because I think because Ortiz knows where his bread is buttered. Like, he's trying to, he's tapping into his fan base.
People always telling me, "Oh, Canelo's English is getting better." I'm like, where the fuck y'all hearing this English? They're like, where? I'm always hearing Canelo's English. I'm like, where? Like, because honestly, if you don't speak English after the fucking fight, I don't give a damn. Like, I'm just be honest with you. Like, if you're not speaking English right before the fight or afterwards, it's like, a random interview in fucking goddamn Mexico or someplace, or you decide to speak English that day and in Mexico, but when you're in America, you speak in Spanish. So I mean, it makes sense.
I mean, like I said, it's different strokes for different folks. So, I mean, obviously, we are not. Most of us are. I mean, I'm not Hispanic or anything like that. So he has.
I am. I mean, I'm Latino, and my Spanish is really poor, so I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
that Danny Garcia Spanish.
So shout out to Official Scoreboard Boxing Science. Yeah, that was a fail.
Yeah, like honestly,
it was a bit of a fail.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, but as long as he keeps at it, I'm sure, like, his fans, the people who are fucking with him now,
with that type of performance, though.
Yeah, I mean, they'll still fuck with him. Like, I'm pretty sure he'll write off some more the next time he fights, though. But the person who really lit him up on interviews was Maurice Hooker. Like, dude came on there sounding like a youth.
Yeah. He was a Dallas Pac.
Shit, like, it's funny you say that, because ain't the realest from like Texas?
Yo, that's a name that you don't hear. Yo, I think so too. Yeah, like that's a name you don't.
Shit, dude. Yeah, y'all stop with the hip hop trivia, nigga.
But it's like, I mean, Hooker had one thing too. Hooker was pouring his heart out, but some the Mexicans though, they were like, they were booing the shit out of him. It's like, hey, I'm a warrior. Like, fuck y'all. Like he was raw with it.
I mean, I don't blame him. Like, after a fight like that, he wasn't rude to Ortiz. He respected him. He didn't complain. They had a good fight. It was for Texas. It was for the culture. Fuck all that.
Yeah.
There was no real reason to boo him. Like, he was on his shield. Like, if your hand popped, whatever
Yeah, it was.
What can you do? Like.
You need your hands to fight. If you don't have your weapons to fight,
everybody's now gonna be fucking a Toro Gotti and break their hand and throw 5 consecutive uppercuts on you.
Yeah, I mean, not everyone's used to fighting with broken hands like Paulie Malignaggi. Some people like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, I mean, but then Hooker got out of the ring and was looking for smoke too. Like, they had to pull him away because he was about to go. He
was ready. He was ready for anything.
Yeah.
Yo, honestly, he makes another. I just read in the comments. He makes another good point. If he didn't try to speak in Spanish, I wouldn't know he didn't speak it. Look, that's facts. Because I assumed he spoke.
Exactly. Yeah, but I think most people are like, because I think because his aura, I guess you want to call that, is like, he probably does because, and that's how I always thought. I was like, he wasn't like let's say like a Ryan Garcia or some shit like that. Like, I thought, okay, dude, spoke. It was a surprise to me. Usually, I'm not taken like by surprise like that, but it was just some very minor thing. I was just surprised that he admitted it so freely, especially where he was at.
Yeah, so, like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Nah, it's better you admit that after you won a fight. Like, you don't admit that after you lost. So it's better he did that this time.
So, your word.
Don't get knocked out and don't get the Crawford fight and then you're like, I guess I could practice my Spanish before the rematch. Nah.
But but speaking of that fight, I mean, obviously, he was trying to in his interview, Ortiz was like mentioned, "Do you want to fight Terrence Crawford?" And Ortiz, was looking for the smoke. I was like, "Yeah, set this shit up. Like, I'll fight Crawford now." And that led to like a whole another thing too. I noticed on Twitter, like, and of course, you have Hooker even saying it too. Like, "Nah, I don't think he's ready for Crawford."
He was ready for your ass. The fuck. all he did was like he beat Goro, give him Shang Tsung now. he beat Sagi, let him get Bison now.
Yeah, it's pretty
Raw, depending if you're in Japan.
Yeah, yeah, but LB though, I did like that tweet you put out though. It's like, if the young man wants smoke, let him get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, simple as that.
Exactly.
I mean, and honestly, right now, his peak is higher now. I don't think Ortiz is at his peak now, but I think now after a performance like that, especially against a former world champion, you might as well try to pull the trigger and see what he can do against someone like Crawford.
Yeah, like, well, why not? Like, who is the man? Look, Crawford's gonna look bad if he ducks this fight. And I'm gonna say why. On the same broadcast, you said Spence fight history.
Yeah, and that wasn't
now,
either.
The next person from Texas who's a beast, you sound like you don't want to fight him either. So, and he calling you out? Nah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bad look. Like, if Crawford don't fight Porter or somebody on that level, people gonna remember this moment.
Yeah, so that's like pressure. It's like now it's like he painted himself in the corner. And that's the thing. Like, and I like Crawford though, but that was like the wrong thing to say, especially between that. So like, if you're not, like, I mean, your options.
He playing like he just playing like, but whatever. I'm tired of the games.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm already over the problem over both of them posturing and shit like that.
He's trying to do the whole like, remember when Mayweather, like after Pacquiao got knocked out, he's like, I'm not fighting you, I'm not worried about you, I'm not fighting you. Like, he's trying to do that, but like, you're not Mayweather. Like, and
when I know you had a resume or the names attached to your name.
Mm-hmm. We're not gonna, if you're gonna be like, well, I'm not worried about it, I'm not fighting you, that's not gonna generate interest from me. I'm just not gonna give a shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's one thing. So it's like, I think the whole thing, I mean, you can see the backlash against it. I mean, it's turning people off from the fight, and that's I think people still didn't learn from Pacquiao and Mayweather, and that's on a bigger fight, on a bigger level. Like, no one, like I said, no, like after that, people just don't have the type of patience for that fight. And if two of the best fighters in the division don't want to get it on, when they both have belts, like, it's a black eye, no, like,
people are tired of waiting for mega fights, yo.
Especially after COVID is already fucking up everything.
Exactly, and there's no excuse now, especially the way shit going. Cause look, you had the never-ending story with fucking Floyd and Pac.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't really live up to what it was supposed to be because the fight was fucking 4 years too late.
Mm-hmm.
So no one's gonna put up in there as the only records it broke was money.
Yeah, pretty much money, pay-per-view wise.
But I don't talk about boxing in boardrooms.
Yeah, right. Like, I don't go to the gym like, yo, my nigga, that shit stole like 3-4 milli, bruh. Like that. Like, no one talks like that in the boxing gyms. Like,
yeah,
that.
we're not gonna do the whole hip hop era standing of records. Well, I sold more records than you. This person, so yeah.
So after that was done, you had the new fucking damn Never Ending Story Part 2. You had more characters got introduced to the movie series. Shit was still lame. Canelo Golovkin. That shit took longer than it was supposed to take.
Absolutely.
I know we all give Canelo his props for the tough fights he taking now, but we can't forget that stretch of Liam Smith, Amir Khan, and Chavez Jr.
Yeah, no, never.
That's the only reason why people still talking about Andre and Charlos. because Canelo ain't fight him then.
Right. And then I just want to take a break to acknowledge two other people in our chat. Sway Puma mentioned bad luck that Bud was antagonizing him ringside when he wasn't doing that for Spence, which is also true. Was he there? He was there for that for Spence and Spence, right?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Because remember, Bud was getting into it with some of the fans.
Yeah, no, because they were talking about, yo, this is a Spence house, homie, all that other bullshit that you saw in the videos. And then also, too, Sway Puma also mentioned that Spence was literally 100 feet away from Bud, but Bud chose to talk trash to a 22-year-old.
It was the thing, it's like, Bud didn't even do that, really. It's like he was on some, like, condescending, like, nah, you don't want it. Like, yeah, you beat my henchman, but, I got more, Herring about to move up after Frampton.
Yeah.
And Hitler and his goon shit, he did, like, fight, like, stop throwing people, like, you throwing other fighters at dudes. Like, you're not Floyd. Don't, well, Kenny beat Devin Alexander.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Like, no, like, you're not a supervillain. Like,
yeah. And then
with Khan.
And then also shout out to Joshua O. He mentioned that DAZN cards have been on point since December. They have.
Yeah.
They most certainly have. And we were talking about even before we started the podcast. We were thinking that this Golden Boy card was going to be kind of struggle. Especially if you were watching it from jump. Because I think they lost the Cano fight because Cano or something like that had someone fell sick or some shit like that. At least it wasn't COVID.
And Cano always bring it too.
Yeah, it does. That would have been hell of a fight too. Though. But the 3 fights that they did have on there before Hooker and Ortiz, like they were entertaining enough. The first one was really a jobber type of fight.
Yeah.
Where you had Patrick Mahomes lookalike knock out the cat that that knocked out the guy that knocked out Wilder's brother. He actually got took out on a stretcher too. That was kind of like, oh shit. That was brutal.
Shout outs to Keith Soprano because he texted me for that fight like, yo, you seen that? Like that was like quick and brutal. Like that was nice and short. I was like, yeah, that shit kind of looked like damn Michael from The Wire when he beat up Jit that was stealing from Naaman.
Kennard, right?
Kennard, yeah.
Kennard. Dude, Kennard ass whooping in the corner.
Yeah. Kennard had that ass whooping coming to me. I hated that little nigga though. he had that ass whooping coming to him too. Oh shit! That was a good reference, yo. And then because that fight ended so quickly, so we're thinking like, oh, they have the 2 Lopez's in there. Was it Jairo and Marcelino, a Mexican and someone from Argentina in there? So, and that fight was one of them was one of them gut check slugfest because the Mexican Lopez went down in almost every round too, but he would come back. And he would come back hard, fighting hard. Like he put himself in the fight, like in fire. Like he jumped in the fire to slug it out with the dude who, like the broadcasters that couldn't stop talking about the dude's body like that. I was like, oh my god, he's so ripped. He's so like that conditioning. And you lift weights.
Pause.
Yeah, like I was like,
the commentary was especially bad. Like,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
damn, like. Yo, the hate that those 2 guys have for fucking Sergio Moro with the whole...
Yeah, the shit on Moro is too much. God damn, this shit on, like...
Yeah, honestly,
I don't like that shit.
I honestly don't like it. Like,
I don't like how they openly disrespect him. Like, nah, that was...
Yeah, I was like, yo, Moro may have his faults as a fighter, but that man is a world champion, like... Moro can knock you guys out with one shot. Like they go in on this dude.
Like, oh, well, you suck. Like he told him, like when he's like, you suck at math. I'm like, what? Like, why would he? Oh, motherfucker said some stupid shit.
And then the whole thing about like Superbad being from the same gym, like it was almost like he couldn't like damn, like they can't be from the same gym. Like he can't be happy for her. Like
yeah, exactly. It's like yo,
like, oh my god, like just.
like every card with these, every time with this combination, like they say something that's cringeworthy. Like it's like they cannot get through one DAZN card, without offending the viewers. Like it's always
or
something.
or somebody or Ryan Garcia's dad or
Yeah.
I mean, just
Like
the cards have been better. Like
yeah, it's like and it takes away from the fights too. Like because the two Lopez's that fight, that shit was awesome. Like for as long as it lasted, which has lasted longer than I expected would have lasted. It lasted into the 5th round.
That was a good fight. That was really good.
Yeah, it was a really good fight. The crowd was fucking with it. They were like, oh yeah, because they wanted some shit like that.
dude kept getting fucking resurrected like a Street Fighter boss. Like
yeah, exactly. Like someone the fucking Contra code and shit, nigga. So it was just like
resurrected.
yeah, get some more lives. But we admire Hart, even though at that point it's clearly like if dude didn't stay down himself, like he was probably looking at some real problems with some real damage.
He put in that Contra code for infinite lives, just in the nick of time.
Right. But the Lopez that won, Marcelino Lopez, I was like, damn, that dude, because they kept on mentioning, Cano says he was the hardest puncher he ever faced. I think he was the one that to really cleanly. I mean, Eric Morales knocked out Cano too, but I think he really knocked out Cano, if I'm not mistaken. So Cano, like if Ortiz doesn't get the fights, things don't happen the way they need to, I would not mind seeing him in the ring with Marcelino Lopez, because Marcelino Lopez looks like he might bring it to him, and vice versa. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying that should be the next fight, but I wouldn't mind it per se. I'm not sure what the rest of you think, but I mean that's
I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
personally.
It'd be a cool fight.
Yeah, no, it would work, but Ortiz though does deserve a Crawford fight. Make no mistake about it. I really, that fight should try to make it happen. Oscar even put out the tweet on Twitter. It's like, hey, Terrence, have Bob call me. So crossing fingers, being optimistic. What
other options does Bud done talk down every other fight?
Yeah,
if he doesn't fight Ortiz, he has to fight Porter.
But then the WBO has to order it, because Porter's not going to just take it, because
Porter's not going to enforce. Porter's not going to enforce his mandatory and only get 25%.
They gotta make it like you gotta make Aaron make a good, like a decent deal,
which they said isn't going to happen until they said, oh, we'll see when the crowds come. So maybe, but
it's one of those things too. Is like you want the WBO to order it so it can go to purse bid, and then and I'm pretty sure Triller or DAZN will probably buy that shit quick, And I think Top Rank wants to avoid another situation. I mean, they fucked around with the Teofimo Lopez one, and they got embarrassed. So
but this is the same Bob that's like, well, I'm losing money on these fights. So if you're losing money on the fights, then let somebody else pay for it. You fuck.
Yeah, and truthfully, like you might as well. Yeah, because Triller will
on Triller, that's over. Like it's a wrap. Like that will be promoted so hard.
Yeah, exactly. And then Triller, and then if Bob was so concerned about that, let Triller win the bid, and then let them give him like $800,000 in less than 12 seconds. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I mean, literally that's it. Or whatever the cut is for promoters. For bids that they don't win, whatever the fuck it is. But yeah, like let it happen. Because Terrence Crawford needs a fight to capture the imagination. Because
one day.
Yeah, well, I mean, unfortunately, and I was scouring the Twitters, and unfortunately, I can see why Bud's not in a rush to fight anybody, because I'd be following his sister, and like under the comments they'd be like, well, but Spence. So it's like they're okay. Like, oh, who wants to see Porter? That's he's the PBC hoe. Everybody has to turn at him. Like, like I can see why ER okay with why Bud doesn't take these fights, because he knows that he can just fight whoever, and then they can just say, well, but Spence, Spence won't take the fight.
Yeah.
But Spence will always look better because he has better scalps at
Exactly.
So Crawford is always gonna lose that argument. He's gonna hang his hat on being pound for pound better. But if Spence keeps taking on good welterweight fights and then he eventually moves up, when it's all said and done, he could look better than Crawford, because Crawford never got into a fight where it was a chance he'd lose.
Yeah,
that's true.
This 147 has been kind of stagnant. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, he can hang his head on the pound for pound, but ain't doing nothing for him at 147.
right?
Yeah, and people gonna remember 147 more. People gonna remember a Jeff Horn fight before they're gonna remember a Beltran fight.
I have so many feelings about that, but I'm gonna let you rock with that one.
Dude, am I lying? Am I lying?
I mean, you're not lying, bro, but it just this just feels so harsh, bro.
Even the commentators are trying to talk down the fight, because remember, like I want to see Ortiz and Bud. Fuck that. More for Bud's sake than Ortiz. Because I feel like Ortiz will make a good fight with anybody, but Bud, he ain't really got the options like that. He talked down the Thurman fight, talked down Porter fight, Spence history. I mean, who else?
I mean, like I said, unfortunately, the 147 stable at top rank, with the outside of Mean Machine, and it's just a whole bunch of young cats. And
Oh God! The fact that you even have to mention.
Dude, no one wants to see Ortiz and Mean Machine. Like,
Right.
Outta here.
There's also one other fighter there, and he damn near went life and death with an old ass Antonio DeMarco during the summer series. And I'm like, yeah, and for instance, they were trying to push that as a fight for Bud. I'm just like, no.
wait, Antonio DeMarco versus Bud?
No. There's another guy. He's like 26-0. Giovanni Santillan, some shit like that. I forgot how.
Yeah, I remember that one. He was on the undercard, one of those
That was a good fight.
quarantine fights.
Yeah, it was a good fight though. But the fact that he struggled with an old ass Antonio DeMarco and should have lost that fight.
That shit, ain't it? Like,
Yeah, I thought he should have lost that shit, but he won. But I'm like, they were trying to talk him up as a Bud opponent, but I'm like, no, absolutely not.
Like he's not even like the Ortiz opponent. Like, nah, like.
Yeah, no. So
Like, listen, I'm tired of them recycling the same people. They switch up the matchups. Like, let me get some young guys in their prime getting big fights now.
Yeah, they
Let's
aren't weak.
wait till niggas is 28, 29. Like, this ain't the rap game where motherfuckers is like getting put on in their first album and they damn 26 and shit. Like, this is like physical. Like, a motherfucker could come out at 53 and drop a classic album, but a motherfucking boxer, he ain't gonna have no classic fight at 53.
Exactly. Absolutely not.
Well, I mean, when you mention Ortiz, they'll be like, well, but Bud beating Ortiz right now would be like Floyd beating Canelo back when he was so young and he was green.
And it was still a good win. Get the fuck out of here. Now we talking down good matchups.
Yeah, but and then just a Sway Palmer, and then Sway Palmer also just mentioned too, and obviously we heard this too. Bud's fighting Josecito, then the winner of Ramirez Taylor late this year.
Ramirez Taylor winner, great fight. Josito Lopez, horrible fight. If you take Josito Lopez, I could say you ducking Ortiz.
Nah, and
I don't know.
No, not that. I ain't saying nothing about that. I'm just saying, even the whole fighting Ramirez. Oh, so we're dragging up a 140 guy. Like, what the hell?
It's the undisputed. Like, we ain't gonna shit on that Taylor Ramirez winner.
I'm not. I definitely won't. Like,
no, that's a legit fucking fight. And honestly, whoever wins Taylor Ramirez will have a better resume than Bud.
At 140, not at 147.
No, add just better fucking resume.
No, that's fine, but that has nothing to do with them being at 147. So we're gonna drag up a.
They still have a fucking better resume.
I know, but it's the fact of that's a good opponent for Crawford, but like we're dragging him up from another weight division.
Taylor's a big dude. Ramirez is a solid big dude. Look, they did all they could at 140. That's why that fight is so big, because they legit fought them two dudes fought everybody at fucking 147.
But we have no idea how they'll translate to welterweight. That's my point.
People really gonna shit on the fight because of that when you got former undisputeds going against each other.
Well, I wouldn't shit on the fight too. Like, if Taylor actually beats Ramirez, Taylor would legit be a top 5 pound for pound.
I'm not shitting on it. I'm just saying it will still leave a bad taste in people's mouths.
Oh my god, like, dude, really? Like, when Bud best fight is Gamboa, and here we giving you Taylor versus Ramirez winning, and dudes would be like, you know what?
I'm for it, but I'm telling you, like, realistically, I know how it's gonna work.
I'm upset because you're right. we boxing fans. Motherfuckers always gonna bitch about something.
There's always but that's the thing about boxing today. There's always something to nitpick. Lord knows I do my whole bunch of nitpicking. It's always gonna be something.
Like, but honestly, Ortiz or Ramirez, Taylor winner, the only acceptable, realistic fights for Bud. When he re-signs in October, I think. No one wants to see fucking Josito Lopez.
I don't know, man. We're gonna be accused of being top rank groupies. Well, you don't shit on Crawford for that, but you shit on Tank for bringing up smaller people. Look,
Tank and Santa Cruz is a whole different situation.
Yeah,
Tank made the weight, didn't struggle. That was like his best performance. Santa Cruz came in there serious. He made the weight. He fought his heart out. They both gave us a great fight. I don't know what's the fucking problem. And the matter of fact, Leo Santa Cruz is legit better than most of the people fucking Crawford's fought. If we're talking like stature wise.
I mean, you might be right there, pal.
Yeah, although I don't really agree with that, because I'm not like I said, the LSC is a disappointment, and he got iced for good reason, So
if LSC a disappointment, then fucking Crawford a disappointment. If I'm saying LSC would be his best opponent, if it would be his best name on his resume, like that's how bad it looked. The bottom line, look, he need to fucking fight Ortiz. Like, I'm tired of all these great fights getting pump fake, and we don't get them. Early in the year, we had Tank and Ryan Garcia, pump fake. Now, that shit went from Ryan Garcia to Pacquiao to this dude, that nigga, whoever the fuck, Tank now and Mario, like now it's like, okay, we got, Crawford Ortiz. Next fight to be Josito Lopez, Riverside Rocky.
No.
Like, come on. Josito Lopez.
We put respect on Rosito's name. Like, there's nothing wrong with Josito in terms of what he is as a person, as a fighter, but he's just not the right person to be fighting Crawford at this point.
He is a terrible fight.
It's a terrible fight for someone who's active in a pound for pound entrant.
Exactly.
And there's no type of mandatory shenanigans involved. Like, come on.
Yeah. But someone who doesn't have that issue with fighting, like trying to fight the best or trying to, trying to separate herself.